Stop copying case study. Start reading them today. Because the real difference between an average architect and a great architect, it's not about creativity. It's about observation. Yes, you heard me right. It's observation. Many architecture students open the case study just to see the floor plan and to copy it. Am I right or am I right? So even you are doing that, it's high time you stop that and you really understand the meaning of case study and how to read it like an architect and how you can use or implement one or two elements from that case study to enhance your design. So if you are new here, please take a moment to subscribe, and to those who have already watched part 3, this is the part 4 of series Think Like an Architect, wherein we are discussing about how to read a case study like an architect. So please stay tuned till the very end, watch the video till the very end, because you will get some nice inputs that you can implement in your case study or in your designs, which can make your designs better. So let's get started with today's video. But before we begin, I really want to share 5 common mistakes that students are making while designing any drawing. So you better have understanding about how to read a case study, how not to create problems for your own, and how not to copy others' case study, trace it down, or use that same thing in your design. So let's get started with mistake number 1.
So every project begins with a problem to solve. If you don't understand the client's need, every design decision becomes a guess.
And mistake number 2.
Now ignoring the site influences everything: climate, view, access, orientation, surrounding. So a good design responds to its context instead of ignoring it.
Mistake number 3.
Then jumping straight to room planning. Before placing rooms, understand how spaces can be connected. Good zoning and circulation create a layout that feels logical, functional, and easy to navigate.
Mistake number 4.
Drawing rooms without thinking about people. A room isn't successful just because it fits on plan. It should comfortably accommodate furniture, movement, and activities it was designed for.
And mistake number 5.
Believing complex form makes great architecture, then it isn't about making unusual shapes. It's about solving problems with clarity, purpose, and thoughtful decisions.
So yeah, these are the mistakes that you will see amongst all the students of architecture, and if you are one of them, stop doing that now and listen to me now. So I wish my college or anyone would have taught me this before. It would have helped me with my design projects so much. So if you are doing any case study, if it on your computer or you have a paper or print with you, don't just see what has been done in the plan. Just get tracing paper, yes, a tracing sheet. Apply that tracing sheet onto the actual plan, okay? Then what you have to do, I'll tell you. You have to make layers of tracing sheets.
On your first tracing paper, don't touch the floor plan as of now. First, understand the site. Mark the north direction, mark the road, mark the building footprint, mark the open spaces, mark the existing trees, mark the existing poles, mark the entry and exit points, and now stop and observe. Just give yourself 10 minutes after you have marked everything, and then just observe and ask yourself questions like, where is the building sitting on site? Why wasn't it placed in the center, or why is it on the side? Okay, why is there more space on the one side? Just ask yourself these questions first before you do any drawing or any basic sketch. Is the building responding to the sun, to the wind, or to the road? Already you are seeing the most students completely missing. Now I want you to take second sheet, okay, in which we will be discussing site circulation. Now discussing about site circulation. Okay, now that we have another tracing sheet, this time forget the building, follow the people. Okay, what I said, forget the building, follow the people. Use different colors if possible. If you have different colors, first draw the path of a visitor who will be coming maybe once a week, once a month. Okay, draw the movement of daily users. or even draw the path of visitors who will be coming daily, which block they will go to. Draw the movement of daily users if you are planning on a residential plan. Okay, mark how the owners or tenants are going to the building. Okay, then draw the vehicle circulation. Mark the parking, where is the parking. Then ask again questions, where do cars enters, where do pedestrians enters, where these paths cross each other, or are they separated paths. Okay, so you have distinct questions for yourself to have like proper opinion. Okay, so good architecture makes movement feel effortless. That's you want to do. So you need to understand the site and then how people are circulating in the site. Okay, now that you have understood about the basic questions to ask yourself when you are doing the case study, the third time you are taking a tracing sheet, you need to mark each and every entry and access points. Okay, now take your third tracing sheet and mark every entry and exit. The main entrance, the service entrance, the emergency exit, parking access. Ask yourself, why is the main entrance here? Could it have been somewhere else? Does the service movement disturb the public movement? Every entrance has a purpose. Find that purpose. Okay. Now take the fourth sheet. Now that you have your fourth tracing sheet, take three colors. Green for public, yellow for semi-private, red for private. Color the spaces. Now step back. Can you clearly understand the zoning without reading the room names? You should be able to actually do that. Now that you have the circulation, the zoning, you should be able to know which space should be private, which space should be public, or which should be semi-private. Architecture should communicate through planning, not through labels. Now last, final tracing sheet, which is internal circulation. This is one of the most important layers in which you have to draw arrows. Start from the entrance, then mark where does the visitor go, then mark where does the owner go, how does a staff member move, and is there unnecessary movement. And for this also use different colors, okay, so that you know which color dedicates to a visitor or a owner. Okay, is there any unnecessary movement? Do people have to cross private areas? Is the circulation direct or confusing? Remember this, people experience architecture through movement, not through walks. Now stack all the 5 sheets together. Okay, look at them as one drawing. Do you notice something? A good building isn't just a floor plan. It's a collection of well thought out decisions. Every layer answers a different question. Like the site answers where, circulation answers how, zoning answers what, and together they explain why the building works. That's exactly how architects study case studies. Not by copying the drawing, but by understanding the thinking behind every line.
And yes, with that we have discussed about how to read a case study like an architect, and I will see you in my next video. If you like the video, you know the drill. Please like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't already. And I have a playlist for case studies. If you haven't checked that out, please do check it out. I will leave the link somewhere here on the screen. So I'll see you in my next video. Till then, please take care and bye.